9,035 pounds, the Eagle 30.5 MLOK here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And this is one of those kind of unicorn floor plans. Eagle HT builds it. No one else builds something exactly like it. Cougar builds something kind of like it in 29 RKS. Open Range builds something kind of like it in their 2804 rear kitchen, but no one builds exactly this. And what's cool is if you like what you see here and you want one a little bit bigger, well, Eagle makes that too. It's called the 319 MLOK in their big Eagle segment. Kind of just this thing on steroids. So you got all kinds of different up, down, in between selections for something like this here at Haylett RV. This RV has a lot of cool aspects, but one of them is the incredibly high level of travel accessibility. Now, whoa, if my camera works a little funky, it's because I'm actually in the fifth wheel as the delivery driver is bringing it in. I don't know if he knows that I'm in here, but I do that all the time. That's kind of one of those stupid things that I do for the benefit of getting work done quickly for you folks. So here's the thing. Most rear kitchens, when the slide's closed, the countertop comes too close to the slide out, and it basically makes it impassable. And you might be able to get to a couch in transit, but why do you need to get to a couch in transit? You don't. You need to get to your countertop. You need to get to your fridge. And that is what the 30.5 M-Lock here at Haylett RV does better than nearly any other rear kitchen I've encountered previously. You can get through all of your cold storage. Plus, remember, you also have another mini fridge outside that you can access anytime as well. But then you come back here and you can get to every inch of the counter space. You can see how you get to just an impressive amount of cabinet capacity here. So if you're kind of smart in how you pack, you can make sure that you're still travel pack ready. But what's nice, they left just enough room here. If you absolutely had to, you could pop one of these doors open and you could still get to most of what's in those pantries by sliding around the dinette fascia. It's a very cool layout that offers a lot of good travel functionality, which is something rear kitchens are not traditionally known for offering. The parking the camper makes this thing jump back and forth a little bit. I'm getting tossed around like, you know, I don't have my sea legs. So we're going to cut this part and we'll get her opened up once she's parked, which to you is going to look like right about meow. Now we're looking at the modern farmhouse decor here today with those white wood tones with the real striking looking antiquing in those. And the dark brown, sort of like real dark espresso mocha brown accents on things like the entertainment and in the bedroom. Now, this is not for everybody. And keep in mind, this is how one of these has looked here at Haylett RV. The one that we have in stock could very well look different. There's also the American Tradition decor, which is brown and brown and brown and brown. So you have a couple different options and opportunities here. As always, keep in mind this video is an example of one Eagle HT, not the only Eagle HT 30.5 MLOK that we have here. For instance, these two recliners, this is the standard seating arrangement. There is a theater seat option available, but it never fails. No matter how we have one built, we're told that we're wrong. If we put the theater seat in, somebody says, well, I like the individual comfort of dual recliners. If we put in the recliner, someone says, yeah, but I really wanted that theater seat. It never matters. So when we can't be right either way, what we do is we try to find the best value option. Now that's a subjective term, but what I mean by that here is whether you get recliners or a theater seat, you have places to kick up your feet. You have comfortable chairs directly across from the entertainment center to watch TV. This is a no neck wrecker entertainment system. The difference is, in this case, the recliners are a few $100 less expensive for equal function. So we felt they were a better value alternative. Now, one of the other cool things they do here is they are very good about window coverage in here, and I love the placement of that mirror to help reflect light around and make this look and feel even bigger. All of the windows, you might notice, are fully trimmed out, which gives those near blackout nightshades something to really bite into. And all the windows will open for airflow, which is kind of cool. Now, slide one of my gloves off here. Couple of things to note. Here in the main cabin, we've got a couple cool functions going on. First of all, we have touch switch lighting, but it also has a dimmer feature with a dimmer memory setting. You'll find those same dimming lights in the main cabin, as well as those little sort of canister looking lights above the dining area. Now what's neat about that is if you want to just kind of dim the lights to watch a movie, or if you're early morning or late at night and you're just not ready for the super high intensity bright lights they have going on here, and the fact that they have plenty of them here in this Eagle HT, well, you can kind of soften it up. Now, let's talk about something you can't see. Because you can't see the square, so you won't hear the air, with the 15,000 BTU whisper ducted AC system that we have going on here. What's cool about Eagles is the bigger air just comes standard with them, as does the whisper ducted system, which is a very standout feature within this class and category. Not a lot of brands in the technically called smaller fifth wheel segment are doing that. Now, here's another thing that even a lot of big luxury fifth wheels aren't doing, but you find even here in the smaller Eagle segment, and that is what I like to call the destination dining desk. Starts with that handy gas strut, easy lift, I don't know, pop top, with a handy little storage segment below it. And you can also see when you lift that up, it reveals a extending leaf here for guests, which is why you also have a pair of fold-out guest chairs that hide neatly under the bed when you're not using them. So that's what's cool about this. This is a couple's RV, first and foremost. It has guest sleeping capacity that we'll see in a few minutes. And this is an excellent entertainer's floor plan if you like to have friends over. Good place to have conversations, plenty of room to be able to cook for everybody. But most of the time, it's probably just the two of you, which is where this really comes in handy, because you really only need two chairs most of the time, and the other two are just constantly clunking around and getting in the way. Now you don't have that problem. Now, what I'm about to say is going to make a bunch of people roll their eyes, but I feel it's accurate. I don't know that it's appropriate to call this camper a rear kitchen. I think it just happens to have the kitchen in the back. And what I mean by that is it doesn't follow the rules of a normal rear kitchen. I mean, obviously, yes, it is, but it's this, you know, I think that's why the model number is called an MLOK, Middle Living Outside Kitchen. It has as much focus on the living area as the rear kitchen, and that is not the normal way of things in this very ultra-traditional, we don't like changes because changes are scary RV business. Now, they do a very Eagle thing here. Eagle does this usually in a wardrobe closet, but they brought it here. You've got this huge wide open area. Well, maybe you don't need all that extra tall space. The good news, you don't have to use all that extra tall space because there's a handy little fold down shelf back here if you want to create additional pantry shelving while still frankly having a pretty big overhead space. Now, while I'm over here, nice hardwood cabinet slide fascia. This is a very well constructed RV using a lot of best in class materials like plywood roof and floor decking, pocket screwed cabinetry, hardwood cabinet door frames, hidden hinges, metallic strutted overhead cabinet doors to keep them open for you. And you can see their overhead cabinetry here. They actually threw shelves in it to really maximize your storage capacity. Now, you've got, this is like classic Jayco right here. Everybody and their brother used to build rear kitchens all the time, and most brands don't build a rear kitchen fifth wheel anymore. But Jayco's always done well with theirs. I think it's because they always included windows here. So, if you're sitting at the dining table, like kind of where I'm standing right now, you have windows over here. And if you're sitting at the living area in those recliners or the hide-to-bed, you also have door side windows. And that's a thing. That's a great thing so that you can watch your campsite. You didn't buy a camper and go camping to look at the neighbor. You bought a camper and went camping to look at your campsite, you know? Now, the way that the inside and the outside of this camper flow together so seamlessly, it's amazing. So let's just start by the fact that you have a near football field's worth of countertop space here. Hut, hike, let's have dinner. You've got nicer, sink hardware again, the wedding ring test. You can hear that's not plastic. Chef-grade bamboo cutting board cover on top of that stainless double basin sink with an aluminum rollaway drying rack. And man, if you are an enthusiast of a large wastebasket, well, I mean, you can't do much better than that. Now, this is what truly impresses me, and it's the details that really separate this one. I'm not feigning excitement. I hold this floor plan personally in very high regard. I think it's one of the best executed things like it in this business, really. Because they gave you maximum amount of drawer space. It's all in the kitchen. But usually, guys, in a rear kitchen, if you open the drawers, you always block some kind of cabinet door. But that's not the case here. Beside these drawers is just a little spice rack. It's nothing that ever opens. Cabinet drawers and doors are never fighting for space. And you're thinking, yeah, but what about all the storage under there? These idiots wasted it. No, they didn't. That's where the outside kitchen comes in. Because frankly, you'd have to get on your hands and knees to try to reach back under this wraparound countertop. you would hate it. You'd be so sick of it so fast it wouldn't even be funny. So they open that space up outside in a way that's very functional while giving you just a tremendous amount of interior storage. Now, even above the refrigerator, we've got a nice chunk of space. You know, you're going to need a two-stepper to get there, but you have it. Also, we have optioned this one in this video up from an 8 cubic foot fridge freezer up to a 4-door 12 cubic foot fridge freezer. Now the biggest thing you're gaining here, the fridge section is a little bigger, but the freezer is vastly larger than an 8 cubic foot fridge freezer. Now, over here, we're not done because this has an excellent, what I like to call, pantry-tainment center, ladies and gentlemen, above the big TV, which the TV's included. It's just simply shipped loose from Jayco to us here at Haylett RV. Plenty of overhead storage here, and I like how you've got kind of the color change in the cabinetry from the kitchen to the living area so that there's a clear definition. Even though this is an open concept floor plan, there's clearly defined space. This is the living room. Back there's the kitchen. But it's always open. It's always comfortable. So if you're at the recliners where I'm standing, you're looking right at Boardwalk and Park Place. But notice that it is a swing arm mount TV. If you want to pivot it over to face the height of the bed, you can. Now again, the TV's included, but I want to point out a couple really amazing details that Jayco put in. They're not just using high-def capable stuff, they're actually giving you high-def wiring. And that sounds like a really small, stupid, pitiful thing. You could buy that cable very cheap off Amazon.com, have it shipped right to your house, but then you have to fish it through all the cabinets. Now you don't. And they not only left you a shelf here to expand your entertainment, it even has power outlets. The stereo itself has HDMI and USB plugs on the face, so that if you want to upgrade to like a streaming stick, you can. Down here, we've got a remote-controlled electric space heating fireplace to take the chill out of the air without burning up your propane. And did you notice that right next to the door, we have this handy-dandy coat rack right here? And again, if you're sitting on the couch, or the sofas, if you're sitting on the recliners, you've got campside windows. You can see people coming in. Now I've got half that one window covered with a cabinet door, of course, but notice that even the main entry door has a full window, but you're not going to lose privacy because there is an interior shade in here. And even up in the hallway, there's a window. That's like the only window in this camper that will not open for ventilation, by the way, due to the fact that there is no opposing window next to it, so you would never really be able to utilize it to get good cross breeze airflow. You know, it's just those extra, they really put their head on straight sort of things that separate this brand from so many others. Now from here, again, you can clearly see how the entertainment center is directly across from like your sofa, your recliners, or theater seat, or whatever the version of it that you has. But when you have a guest, because that's an adult-sized hide-a-bed, you're not relegated to only being a grandkid-capable guest camper. You've got a full adult-sized hide-a-bed here, and if they're there, or you do have grandkids, or whatever, it doesn't cut off the camper. You still have plenty of space to be able to walk down here, get to the coffee maker in the morning, get yourself ready for the day, and, frankly, if you just want to sit down, kick on the TV while they're waking up and you want to get caught up on the news or whatever, you could still sit down, kick up your feet, enjoy some beautiful views and cross breeze from those windows, or pull the blackout shades, and, you know, you're never really going to lose out on anything. Now, up here, again, I just want to once again point out the cross breeze windows on not just the slide sides, but the sofa side, and they just never wasted an opportunity. Anywhere they could put good, big storage, they did. And that's what I call Eagle doing Eagle things. You know, there are lighter weight, there are less expensive fifth wheels in this category, but almost all of them lack the polish, detail, and refinement of the Eagle series. Now, it would be very easy to interpret what I'm saying as being very biased. And that's absolutely not what I'm saying. What I'm not saying is Eagle is the best and only fifth wheel. I'm saying that Eagle is very upscale and very high class and very well equipped. They have the features of a bigger fifth wheel in a size class smaller. That means that they're heavier and more expensive than other things the same size, but they also have a pretty impressive equipment package. So every RV is the best in a different way. If you're looking for less weight and less money, maybe Eagle's not the best for you. If you're looking for an awesome couples rig for traveling or destination use, frankly, this thing, it would serve both purposes so well, it's not even funny. Now, they still give you a full physical switch control panel, which it's all, you know, it's kind of classic, but it's confidence building. It's not like, it's digital, I'm not into all that. But they give you a little bit of a step forward with this handy little touchscreen pad right here. If you want to be able to operate your slides, your jacks, everything right from here, you can. Now that's a remote control. You can go outside, you can open your slides to make sure they're not going to crush anything, or you can actually peek your head into the bedroom to make sure that slide will close without crushing anything. Now, up here in the bed and bath area, one of the things that I like, again, those little tiny attentions to detail. We're going to start with the fact that they have this awesome, like, blue LED night light. Now, there's doors that close, and you can turn it off and on, obviously. So, you know, you're not going to see this in the evening. It's not going to disturb you. But against that white shower enclosure, notice that even now, with light pollution bleeding in from the lights in the hallway and the skylights, it's still pretty impressive in here. Plus, you have this little indirect lit, backlit morning mirror, which is, I mean, very effective, honestly. And then, of course, you have full-on interior lighting as well. We have real tile backsplash here. And that is a adult-sized sink that just happens to be housed inside of an oversized countertop. And that's a pressed membrane counter so that, you know, you can splash water around. It's not going to hurt anything with the storage cabinet below. Notice, now, Jayco does use floor ducted heating because it's a more heat-efficient method. And it's one of the things that gives Eagle HT a proven 0 to 100 degree insulation and, like, weather rating package, effectively. But they put their floor ducts in out-of-the-way locations. Did you notice how you did not see one of those? They also extend their bedroom slide through into the bathroom so that all of that linen space and, like, you know, bath soaps and stuff like that, you have room for that so that you just have more open area to be able to get dressed either in front of that easy entry split open shower or the porcelain foot flush stool that we have going on right here. Now, the shower here is the same height as the shower deck where I'm standing. So you're never gonna, you know, bonk your head like that or anything in here. And the shower fan, or bath fan that they use, it's actually rainproof. It has a special cap on it, on the roof, so that if it is a rainy day, you don't gotta worry about, oh crap, honey, we left that open. You can turn the fan on, off whenever you want. Just no thought process required. And I thought, hey, you know what I never do? I never actually slide that door closed and show you the bathroom privatized. And there you have it. Nothing major to see, obviously, but there you go. Also, little details like Jayco's bathroom doors actually lock here on these Eagles. Nice little touch. Now, notice you no longer have that big 9-inch step-o ankle breaking death around the bed. There's a little bump, obviously, but they've minimized it to every degree they possibly can in this size fifth wheel. That is a 60 by 80 residential queen, so that normal sheets or replacement mattresses fit it just fine. They use a really nice bedding ensemble in here too. Now, you've got more of that pressed edge membrane type countertop stuff on both sides of the bed on your side stands. So if you have a drink sitting there and the ice melts overnight and it sweats, no big deal. You just clean up the little water ring and you're done. Now, those are not hanging closets on both sides of the bed. They're just there for storage. We'll get to your hanging storage in just a minute. Those two headboard mounted lights that we're looking at, nice bright white LEDs. It's actually a dual element fixture. It has another blue LED reading lamp for use in the evenings. Now, as we pan over here, one of the things that they did here that is so smart, and other brands have started to copy this, is within their closet slide, the bedroom and bathroom storage slide that we already saw a little bit of in the bathroom, they included a window. And that is something most brands don't do. Most brands, to save money, and remember I told you, Eagle's not less expensive. That's not what they're about. They're not silly about their pricing, but they are feature first. Their high value is their idea. So you actually get the extra light, the extra airflow. It creates a stand to be able to put, you know, alarms, fans, and there is a power outlet over there. Maybe a little handy laptop station, I don't know. And hey, below it, we've just added an extra dresser drawer. And then, of course, we do have our hanging closet storage over here. And those are mirrored doors as well to reflect more light around. Now, directly across from the bed, we have easy TV hookup. So, where, you know, this RV actually has the ability to have a TV in the living room, up here in the bedroom, and as we'll see in just a minute, outside as well. Now, I mentioned some things inside. I mentioned higher materials. We did some wedding ring tests, things like that. And that kind of taps into the fact that we have that big blue 2 up here that, you know, stuck on the window in the hallway. That's because Jayco's have basically twice the warranty of nearly anybody else. There's going to be brands that want you to think that they have a big blue 3 and that it means a full 3-year warranty, but it doesn't. It means a limited 3-year structural warranty. And Those things are not all created equally. Like Keystone's is great. Keystone's covers a lot of stuff, more than anybody else's. But some of them cover very little. So I encourage you to do your homework. The good news with Jayco, you don't have to. Now, a recurring trend I have outside here is that Eagle is smarter. You kind of saw that with the way they arranged the drawers in the kitchen inside. So in this class and category of fifth wheel, you'll find a camper has outside TV hookups and a light in the pass-through, like we're looking at. But Eagles give you motion sense lights on both sides of the pass-through because you use both sides of the pass-through. Smarter. They use this, this is the same kind of flooring that you'll get in like the toy hauler of a Seismic or a Talon by Jayco, so that cargo stays in place and it doesn't tend to get musty and moldy. They also, this is a good place to get to see the general aluminum skeleton of this structure, and you see that like aluminum foil bubble wrap looking stuff, they use double-sided thermal foil because it is a superior product as compared to the single layer hot dog paper looking stuff. There's nothing wrong with that hot dog paper stuff. It's good, it's fine, but Eagle's better, but they're not less expensive, you know. Better is relative to what your goal is. For instance, you know, Eagle, they don't just heat, enclose, insulate the floor. They don't just have multiple layers of like heat reflection insulation going through the nose, around the nose cap, but they also do it all the way under the gooseneck and the pin box. You know, they go further. For instance, you've got a larger front storage compartment on this than most other fifth wheels in this class, and it comes from the factory set up with room for 4 batteries. So if you do like that extra ability to get off grid a while, you can. I had to conserve some power here, so I have the power pulled currently. But you've got both hitching assist lights and then just these cool LED accent beam lights that trace the nose contours. It just absolutely looks tremendous. Another thing that Eagle doesn't do is they don't pre-crack their fiberglass due to an expectation of failing structure. So many other fifth wheels have that. And now, when I say that, that's a very negative sounding phrase. I'm not trying to be overly scary. It's something that could take 8, 10, 12 years. Maybe a little less if you tow a lot. Maybe more if you tow less. But the one thing I've never heard anybody ever in this industry say is, man, there's a feature right here I'm pumped to tell you about. I want to show you how, over time, this fifth wheel will bob and wiggle, and the stress will cause a fiberglass crack right here between the bed slide and the gooseneck area because we just didn't put quite enough steel in there. Nobody ever says that, because why would they? Well, that'll never happen on an Eagle because they use a thicker box tube steel upper deck framework system, just like a North Point and a Pinnacle. Even here on the smaller of the Jayco fifth wheel series, they still build it the same as a full-time warranted North Point or Pinnacle. It's just smaller. You know, that's what's impressive. That upper deck has sidewall flanges, kind of like you have outriggers on the lower deck to keep everything structurally supported. You saw from the other side we have that full pass-through. But a neat little thing, you've got this little simple like water cable docking station right here. And a lot of campers come with these blue coily hoses now. But once again, Eagle went one step further. And it's basic, but it's effective. And that is this handy little, you know, sprayer hose attachment that comes on the end of it. Although if you look at that little brass fitting, you'll notice it fits any residential garden hose sprayer. So you can convert that out however you want. You know, just extra neat little detail things like that. That's what separates them. All the windows open for airflow with the exception of the one in the hallway because it has no cross breeze counterpart. Obviously heavily tinted, and that will do wonders to keeping the sun out of the camper to help keep the temperatures cooler, more comfortable inside, but something you can do to extend that even further. People always ask about dual pane windows because they think thermal pane windows, but that's not what dual pane windows are in the RV business. I've done separate videos on it, but what you can do and get massively more function than a dual pane window at no additional charge is just pull those pleated shades inside those windows. And they are literally twice as effective as dual pane windows at keeping heat and sun out of your camper. Pretty impressive. Now, a neat thing back here that originated in the Eagle series that is still exclusive to only Jayco RV is the J Smart lighting system. And that stands for signals, markers, and reverse travel. So, let's start with, I'm going to go backwards this time, the RT, the reverse travel. You see that white thing above the Furrion backup camera prep and those little white inserts in the tail lights. When you shift into reverse, those will flash, and buddy, they are no joke. Those things are bright. So if you are using a backup camera or you have a spotter, they will help you be able to see in a camper or into backing into a campsite early morning, late night, whatever. Now, the signals and markers portion. Let's say you flip on this right-hand turn signal over here. Well, if you notice, you have additional upper clearance lights, and then all associated side marker lights will blink along with that turn signal so that other drivers can see what you're doing. Smarter, safer. Also of note, you have a gas grill quick connect on the rear bumper here. You also have a best-in-class, factory-installed, factory-warranted 3,000-pound towing hitch with towing safety chain hooks and 4-way wiring. So if you do want to do some doubles towing, this is an awesome, awesome camper to like throw a small boat behind. Now, while it used to be just the absolute bread and butter of the RV industry, 2-slide fifth wheels with no slides on the door side have become a rare thing indeed. Very few brands build anything like that. Again, a little bit smaller version of something like this might be the 2804 RK Open Range that actually we helped design here at Haylett RV. Partially for this reason. It's patio friendly. It's park friendly. You're not losing campsite space. And guys, if you take note, we've got a very generously sized awning as a result. And the awning comes with, remember, that remote control system. If you want to be able to operate that from your patio chair, you can. Now, what's really neat is the way that they were able to integrate a little miniature outside kitchenette here, really without losing anything inside of the RV. And I mean, that's one of, there's so many little symbiotic, cohesive elements to this RV. The inside and the outside play seamlessly with one another. It was very, very well executed. So we've got the Screaming Hot Burning Capital Grill out here, which, what's nice about this is it's an actual grill. It's not just a cooktop, so you can actually like really cook some meat on it. And we have galvanized rolled steel countertops, that weather-resistant stuff that you're seeing. And of course, we got Dad's medicine cabinet, as I like to say, for the barley pop and the bottled water. Another of those glorified USB hubs. The good news is that actually costs less than a normal set of USB hubs, so who cares if it's glorified? Congratulations. And household outlets. Now, notice that there's 2 light switches out there. You can clearly see how we obviously have a nice bright white light right here, but if you look up, you've also got a cool little patio evening light as well, so you can keep some light out here without attracting the bugs. And then of course you can always just close all this up and put it away. And you've got the Jayco Jaybird Barley Poppinator going on right here as well. Now, one of the things that we've done here, and we will typically do on all Eagle HT fifth wheels, is upgrade them to larger 16-inch tires instead of the class standard 15 inches. So this has the same bigger tires as a high-profile fifth wheel that weighs like, 15,000 pounds. But what's cool is these are always, whether it's 15 or 16 inches, going to be a best-in-class American-made Goodyear Endurance radial rated for up to 87 miles per hour. You should never be driving that fast with this thing, but the fact is, the tires are going to hold up if for some reason you need to. Another thing that's cool is HTs give you the same suspension as a North Point or a Pinnacle. A MoRide compression rubber equalizing 3-inch shock dampening suspension system here. Now this is also preset for either an outside entertainment center like we're seeing, or you could use it for storage. You could easily add some shelves in here. Now the outside TV is an option, and obviously you can see we did not exercise that here. What we have found at Haylett RV is so many people have so many extra TVs lying around nowadays that we just don't need to add extra expensive TVs in from the manufacturing side. And if you're like, yeah, but I don't have an extra TV and I want a TV in this Eagle before I take it home from you guys at Haylett RV, give us a call. That's an easy thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. We can go across the street to the big box store of your choice, buy a bracket, get a TV of equal or maybe larger size, I'm not sure. It usually comes out cheaper from the big box stores, and we can still pay a tech to install it for less than it would have been factory installed. So that's one of the reasons we don't add a lot of extra TVs anymore. Now you can see the nicer aluminum plank steps right here, and what this does, gives you a nice sturdy come and go, and they're not slippery when wet. And notice how your speakers are, first of all, skirt mounted, so you're not drilling holes through the side of the RV. And they're mounted down low, so you don't blow away the neighbors. And then there's little Eagle is Smarter features like this. Like you have an actual step light with a switch that's out here instead of inside the RV. Because why would you want to have to go inside the camper which means walking up dark steps so that you could activate the step light to come back outside. You know, stuff like that doesn't make sense. But once again, Eagle is smarter. And everybody say hello to Mr. Bernie here underneath there. He's the friendly neighborhood Jayco delivery driver bringing this one too. Oh, I'll get him hamming it up. I love it. Thank you, Bernie. Bernie and his wife bring us campers all the time. They are awesome, awesome people. And it's one of those things that even the people that deliver these RVs from Jayco are just top-notch, high-quality folks. Now, I think Eagles give me more, well, Jaycos in general, give me more to talk about on the roof of their campers than just about anybody else. So, first of all, something you can't see is their Magnum Truss roofing system and their plywood roof decking. It gives them a best-in-class, like 4,800-pound weight rating up here. So if you do have to park this outside, you live in snow country, no worries. You don't have to brush the snow off this thing. It's fine. Now, I don't recommend it, but I know that a lot of people like to take these things to the races and sit up here at the lawn chair. The structure will hold you, but again, for safety reasons, I can't recommend it. Remember, 15K air standard, as is not just the side mount solar prep in that docking center, or around the docking center rather, but roof mount solar prep with just a blank canvas begging you to go nuts, adding panels all over the place. They are very good about being heavy-handed with their sealants on their Jayco roof systems. Also, this is that special kind of vent cap that goes on the bathroom vent fan. You don't have to crank it up and down. You just turn the fan on when you want to exhaust all that humidity, and you're good to go. You know, the way that it's structured, water's not going to get up in it. And this thing over here, that's your 360 siphon cap, which is your black tank chimney cap, basically. It helps pull extra air out of that tank so that you don't have a backflow of odors into your RV, because that's a stinky situation no one wants to get into. But anyway, doing my own sound effects now. So guys, every RV again is the best in a different way. Eagle does a lot of things. That means they do more things than just about anybody in this class, but that means they are a little heavier, they're a little more expensive. So if you're looking for your last fifth wheel, they're a very, very good solution. I think that they're a brand that is going to take care of you very well. But as you can see, we have no shortage of different things to look at and consider here at Haylett RV, and we only do everything except for hidden dealer fees. We leave those to the big box stores, guys, but short of that, we do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer, package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.